For today's lesson, you will need page 71 in your reading workbook. We will be reviewing how you start every single sentence with a capital letter and how every single sentence needs some type of end mark. Yesterday, I included some videos that talked about capitalization using capital letters and also about the different kinds of end marks that we've used this year, like periods and question marks and exclamation points. So let's go ahead and take a look, page 71, and look at example number 1. The ball bounces. There's an OU combination like we have in the word out. And remember, when you have that vowel combination, it says ow. Bounces. The ball bounces. Now, in this particular sentence, we need to make sure that we are tracing that capital letter, right? Tracing that capital letter. It already has an end mark, and I think it's the right end mark because it has a period at the end. Now, if you have a sentence that has a period at the end, it's a telling sentence. Someone is telling you something. In this case, they're telling you the ball bounces. All right, so all you have to do to that first one is make sure that you have that capital T trace because every single sentence starts with a capital letter. All right, the next sentence, let's look at example number 2. School is fun. School is fun. Now again, we have to trace that capital letter because every single sentence starts with a capital. So go ahead and trace the S because we need a capital. But this one doesn't have an end mark to it. Now, what kind of end mark do you think would be appropriate for this sentence? Which one do you think would be right? Well, we definitely could have a period at the end, right? We could have a period because it's telling you something. School is fun. But it could also have an exclamation point at the end if you wanted, depending on how you said it. Because now with an exclamation point at the end of that sentence, you would read it differently. You would say, school is fun, with a lot of excitement in your voice, right? So either one of those end marks would work, either a period or an exclamation point. Let's go ahead and take a look at example number 3. Cats play with yarn. Cats play with yarn. Now, of course, we have to make sure that we're tracing that capital C because that is the first letter in our sentence. And every sentence will start with a capital letter. But then we have to take a look, and there is no end mark at all here. There's no end mark. Cats play with yarn. Well, it's not a question, and I don't see that you would be saying it with a lot of strong emotion or feeling. Cats play with yarn. It's basically a telling sentence, telling you what cats play with, right? Cats play with yarn. So the right end mark would be a period at the end of that sentence. So go ahead and include a period to tell everyone that sentence is over. All right, let's go ahead. We'll move down to example number 4. It says, mice like cheese. Mice like cheese. Now, of course, we have to do our tracing of our capital letter. You're probably better at it than I am, right? Than tracing these. Tracing that M in mice like cheese. Now, they did include a period at the end. Do you think that that's the appropriate? Do you think that's the right end mark? Yeah, probably so, because you probably wouldn't say that with that much feeling or excitement, and it's definitely telling you something. It's telling you what mice like. Mice like cheese, period. All right, let's look at example number 5. Eric points to the map. Eric points to the map. Now, of course, we're going to trace the E in Eric. Now, this is a capital because it's at the beginning, and why can I not trace? There we go. And it's also someone's name. So you need to trace. Mine doesn't want to trace. There we go. There's one. Very tricky. No? Let's see. There we go. All right. I've got my E and Eric trace now. That was kind of tricky to do. Eric points to the map. I have a capital E in Eric because it's a name and at the beginning of a sentence, but I don't have any end mark. There's nothing at the end of this sentence. Eric points to the map. Well, it's definitely not asking you something. It probably isn't anything that you would say with a lot of feeling or emotion, but it is telling you something. It's telling you what Eric is pointing to. Eric points to the map. So this one would end again with a period at the end. It's a telling sentence. It's a declarative sentence. Do you remember that word? Declarative sentence? All right. We are on our last example, example number 6. Fish have fins. Fins. Fish have fins. Of course, we have to trace that F that's at the beginning. And it already has an end mark there. Is that the right end mark, you think? A period? It's telling you what fish have. It's telling you something. It's a declarative sentence. Fish have fins. So I think a period works just fine there. All right. Now go ahead and upload page number 71 into Schoology so I can make sure that you followed along with this lesson.